American Football League has in 5 short years become one of the great success stories in sports history. What you are now seeing and what you're about to see are outstanding examples of why American Football League professional football has become the most talked about innovation in spectator sports. The Kansas City Chiefs rank among the most entertaining of teams in this most entertaining of sports. The story of 1964 is a story of a great league-leading quarterback. It's the story of a rookie fullback straight out of a Horatio Alger script. And it's the story of giant linemen. It's the story of acrobatic pass catching and brilliant runs. It's the story of sunshine and rain, happy days and not so happy days. It's a story we think you will enjoy. Quarterback Len Dawson had one of those seasons you might term if only. If only Dawson had not been injured during a vital 3-game stretch in midseason, he might have led the Chiefs to a repeat of the triumphs to which he contributed in 1962. Certainly when Len Dawson was healthy, there was no better quarterback in pro football. Number 16 became the first quarterback in the AFL's 5-year history to lead the league's passers twice. 1964, in many ways, was Len's best season. He completed more passes for more yards than ever before. And his 30 touchdown passes, added to 26 in 1963 and 29 in 1962, made him the most prolific touchdown producer in all of football for this 3-year span. Dawson's understudy, who spent much of the 1964 season answering telephones and relaying messages, was a superbly talented youngster named Pete Beathard. Possessor of a strong arm, unbelievable quickness, and rare intelligence for a rookie quarterback, Beathard proved as nifty at running with the football as he did throwing it. Chiefs coach Hank Stram thinks the youthful Southern Californian has a future without limit. If Dawson's 1964 season was a good one, and unquestionably it was, then a full share of the credit must go to his receivers. Frank Jackson, number 26, playing his second full season as a flanker, was the sensation of the AFL during the last half of the year. 3 times the fleet Frank caught passes for more than 100 yards, wrecking some of the league's top secondaries in the process. Jackson caught 62 passes for 943 yards and 9 touchdowns. He had a 72-yard reception for his season's best. Fred Arbanis, number 84, was again the league's #1 tight end. Outstanding in 1963, superb in 1964. Arbanis, a 6'3", 242-pounder, caught 34 passes for 686 yards, an amazing total for a tight end. That's more than 20 yards per reception. Accounted directly for 8 touchdowns and set up half a dozen. Injury cost the Chiefs Arbanis' services for the final 2 games, or his record would have been even more impressive. Arbanis was one of the 4 Chiefs players rewarded with the AFL First Team All-League honors. Number 88, Chris Burford, was again one of the AFL's great clutch receivers. Third down catches, always a Burford specialty, were again a Chiefs highlight of 1964. Knee operation curtailed Chris early in the year, but by the season's end, he had his usual 50 catches, 51 to be exact, and 7 touchdown grabs for good measure. Seasons as a Chief, Burford has caught 38 touchdown passes. A former decathlon great, newcomer Reg Carolyn played impressively and enthusiastically. His first Chiefs touchdown came on a pass from Pete Beathard against the New York Jets. Of course, other receivers. Running backs Curtis McClendon, Mac Hill, and Bert Cohn caught their share, but their primary job was carrying the football rather than catching it. Mac Clay Hill. Number 36, a completely unheralded rookie from Little Southern University, was the find of the year as far as Coach Hank Stram and the Chiefs were concerned. Gifted with incredible balance and quickness to go along with his 235 pounds, Hill had everybody talking once he established himself in the Chiefs' backfield. Whether it was breaking tackles or knocking down enemy linemen, Mac the Truck never ceased to amaze the fans. He didn't mind carrying a little extra weight either. The Pittsburgh Courier's Rookie of the Year, Hill averaged the league's leading 5.4 yards per carry. He had a season's best run of 71 yards on an icy Municipal Stadium turf against the Boston Patriots. Hank Stram describes Hill thusly: when he goes into a pile, he always comes out on the other end. A pretty apt phrase, as you can see. Curtis McClendon, the Kansas strong boy who was the AFL Rookie of the Year in 1962, shook off the effects of an early season broken hand to make valuable contributions down the stretch. Great short receiver, Curtis has the speed and mobility to turn the check pass into a long gainer. He averaged 17 yards every time he caught the football. Longest gain was a 66-yard touchdown scamper against the Denver Broncos. Bert Cohn, like McClendon, a former Kansas Jayhawk, was a strong finisher. His 2-touchdown performance at San Diego completed the December annihilation of the Chargers. Hank Stram and the Chiefs coaches liked what they saw. Cohn figures very highly in the Kansas City plans for 1965. The Chiefs' offensive line, the largest in pro football, was just as big a contributor to the offensive success as the Dawsons and the Hills. Number 77, the 292-pound Jim Tyre, an all-league tackle for the 3rd straight year. Auburn's Dave Hill, number 73, and SMU's Jerry Cornelius, number 74, teamed with Michigan State guard Ed Buddy, number 71, Iowa's Kurt Murs, number 64, 5-year veteran Al Reynolds, number 60, and young Denny Biedrowski, number 61, to give the Chiefs a most formidable forward wall. Anchoring these behemoths was the veteran offensive center, John Gillum, number 65. And offense goes nowhere without consistent execution up front. The Chiefs' second-place finish is tangible evidence of results in this direction. The Chiefs in 1964 had the American Football League's second-ranked punter, Chief Thunderfoot Gerald Wilson. Wilson, who doubles as a running back, averaged 42.7 yards on 77 punts, and he boomed one 70 yards. Place kicker Tommy Brooker was the Chiefs' leading scorer with 70 points, including 8 field goals and 46 extra points. Brooker, who has never missed an extra point as a pro, now has the AFL record string of 99 working consecutively. The Chiefs' kicking game will be even stronger next year. A trade with the Denver Broncos brings 3-time league-leading punter Jim Fraser to a Chiefs uniform. As spectacular as was the Kansas City offense, it seldom outshone what some considered one of the American Football League's strongest defenses. Hank Stram's efforts at devising a stacked defense, which opposing quarterbacks found difficult to read, was an artistic success. The Chiefs' front line, featuring their own version of Lightning, number 78, Bobby Bell, the veteran Mel Branch, number 87, All-AFL Jerry Mays, number 75, and number 86, 286-pound mastodon Buck Buchanan, had few equals in size, speed, or ruggedness of play. Aggressive rookies Hatch Rosedahl, Ed Lothamer, and John Machusak provided close competition for the starting four. Kansas City linebacking was, as always, a Chiefs strong point. Even though perennial all-leaguer E.J. the Beast Holub, number 55, and Walt Corey, number 56, missed parts of the season because of knee injuries, veteran teammates Cheryl Hedrick, number 69, and number 35, Smokey Stover, with aid from versatile Bobby Bell and Jerry Mays, kept the Chiefs' linebacking standards high. Chiefs' defensive secondary was again one of the AFL's stingiest. Quick as a hiccup, Dave Grayson, who repeated as an all-leaguer, led the Chiefs in kickoff returns and had 7 interceptions for a league-leading 187 yards. ever-present Bobby Hunt, who also earned all AFL recognition, had 7 steals for 133 yards. Steady to Wayne Wood, number 48, Bobby Ply, number 14, and the super dependable Johnny Robinson, number 42, contributed 8 more steals between them in spite of injury problems. Young Willie Mitchell, up from the taxi squad, proved by his late season coverage of some of the league's best flankers, including San Diego's Lance Alworth, that he is a player to watch. Mitchell was also among the league's most elusive and exciting punt returners. Pro football success, a delicate mixture of offense and defense. The combination of the two at their best is extremely rare and presents an unbeatable combination. The 1964 Chiefs had that rarest of moments, the day a team strives to achieve an almost perfect day against their strongest and most heated rival. It came under the sunny blue skies so characteristic of San Diego, California. The Chiefs and the Chargers, December 13th, 1964. Len Dawson, who hit a superb 56% of his passes for the entire year, was even hotter against the Chargers. Dawson picked apart the touted San Diego defense with magnificent accuracy and play selection. He completed the first 11 passes he threw and 14 of 16 by halftime. Frank Jackson was his primary target, and before the day was over, the Swift Jackson was to snare a league record-tying 4 touchdown passes. But the day wasn't all Dawson and Jackson. Mike Hill bulldozed through the gigantic Charger line for 92 total yards, and the Chiefs' offensive line blocked with awesome efficiency. Defensively, Kansas City never had a better effort. All afternoon, San Diego quarterbacks were pummeled by white shirts for having their rush throws picked off by other Chief defenders. The final score, Kansas City 49, San Diego 6. It was a day for every Chiefs fan, some 200 of whom were at Balboa Stadium that day to remember and cherish. A professional football machine in an almost perfect performance. With that day of perfection, we conclude the story of the 1964 Kansas City Chiefs. 1965 is a brand new story. With the aggressive signing of 34 talented rookies to add strong competition for every veteran, the future holds great promise. Foremost among the newcomers are national champion Arkansas's top 2 performers, flanker Jerry Lamb and consensus All-American linebacker Ronnie Cavanis. Before we leave 1964, let's explore some facets of pro football other than a Len Dawson pass or a Mac Hill run. The spectacle of pro football is much more. It's the fancy marching bands like the University of Missouri's Marching Mizzou. It's a pretty majorette. It's war paint on his victory run. It's cheerleaders beating on a giant tom-tom. It's Miss America. It's Lamar Hunt enjoying sideline action. It's a lifetime of devotion to winning football by coaches like Hank Stram, Bill Walsh, Tom Catlin, Tom Pratt, and Pete Brewster. But more than anything else, it's a contest between expert athletes striving to be the best in the world at their profession. It's often violent, excitement-producing, sometimes humorous, but always fascinating. That's pro football.